Hey guys, Shannon here with Trillium Living. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm making an indoor succulent dish garden. If you have not tried growing succulents yet, they make an amazing house plant, especially if you tend to be a little neglectful of plants or forget to water them. They are very forgiving and are just very easy to grow. I have a collection here of some different succulents. As you can see, they come in different shapes and sizes and colors, and some of them kind of are growing a little kind of lopsided. Some fell out of the pot. So I just have a collection here that need a new home. So I thought, well, let's put them in a dish garden so that they all look nice together as a collection. So the first step is to get a container. And I bought this one at my local garden center. And I like it for succulents for a couple of reasons. First, it's a lower profile container. Succulents by nature don't need a lot of soil. They prefer to be dry. So the more soil, like if you had a deep pot, the more soil would just be an opportunity for more moisture to cause problems with the succulent's health. So I like this one for that reason. The other reason I like it is that it's made out of clay. So it doesn't have a finish on it, so the pot will breathe and it will cause it to dry out more, which is actually really good for succulents. The other thing is that it actually has some really nice feet on the bottom that will keep it nice on the furniture. Now the one downside is that it doesn't have drain holes in it. So if you do tend to overwater your plants, that could cause a problem. But I'm pretty good with my succulents. I don't overwater them, so I'm not too worried about any water accumulating in the bottom. But having said that, I am going to add a little bit of horticultural charcoal in the bottom. And that's just a little pro tip that you can do with any of your dish gardens. What that does, the horticultural charcoal will just absorb any bacteria that might develop. If you do happen to overwater, if there's any fungus or anything that develops in the bottom of the container. So the next step is I'm just going to add a little bit of soil to the bottom. Now you just can't use any soil for succulents. You have to use a specific soil that's designed for cactus and succulents, and that's really easy to find. You can get it at any garden center, online, even at the big box stores sell it. If you do use a regular soil, you'll probably have some problems with it holding too much water, and as I mentioned earlier, that can really cause some problems with the health of the succulents. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with this peperomia. I love this container he's in, but he's kind of leaning. He got a little too big for it. So I'm gonna pull him out and kind of put him towards the back. And there's actually two stems in there. I'm gonna try and straighten him up a little bit. And then I have an, well, I call it an echeveria. Some people call it an echeveria. And he fell out of another pot, so I kind of got him in here. And I think I'm gonna put that towards the front like that. I just love the color, the blue-gray look of that. And let's see, I have, this is called a burro's tail. It's also a sedum. It had a little piece kind of fall out. So this, I'm gonna have this drape over the edge of the pot like that. And then I'm gonna end up tucking this little guy in there somehow. Lay that right there, we'll work him in. And then I have this Portulacaria. It's also known as elephant's bush. And I think I'm gonna put that right there. I'm gonna loosen up the roots on this. This is really kind of compacted in there. And you cannot hurt these guys, so don't be afraid to. And I just got my echeveria all filthy, but I'll clean that up. You just actually using your blowing it off is probably the easiest thing. And then I have a, this is actually, again, depending on where you were raised or how you were taught, this is a kalanchoe or a kalanchoe. I'm gonna tuck that, I think, right in here. And then I have, this is a crassula silver dollar, which is related to a jade plant, believe it or not. And I think I'm gonna put him right in, maybe I'll put him right over here. And then I have another little echeveria. I'll loosen these roots up too. They're a little tight where there. And you can really, as you can see, I'm really packing these in there kind of tight. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm packing them in there tight because these really grow slowly, and I love the look when it's really nice and full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some soil in there and just kind of tuck these all in with some soil. You can use some tools. I just use like an old spoon to kind of get some soil down in there. They sell tools specifically for this, but basically it's the same thing. They're absolutely adorable and cute, and maybe someday I will get them, but right now I just use like an old spoon. And then you can use they sell little shovels and things like that. And then also what you can do is use like I said, actually just blowing on it's probably the best thing, but you can use an old paintbrush you can get at a craft store to just clean these up when you're all done. But what I'm going to do is just go through this each one by one and just add some more soil and kind of firm these in there so that they're in there nice and tight, and they each kind of have their own little spot all tucked in. And so I'll finish that up, I'll clean the table up, and we'll be right back and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. I finished the succulent planter. I think it turned out great. I'm just amazed how I can take just a hodgepodge collection of different succulents that I had that needed to be repotted, and how amazing it turned out. I actually ended up having a little bit more room, so I added another echeveria, and I wanted to show you what I did with that little piece of the burro's tail that we had. I just tucked him in there. He had some roots, and he'll do great. He'll just root right in there. But I just love how it turned out. It's just, I think it's beautiful. It'll look great. These are all tropical, so I'll probably keep it outside on our patio through the rest of the fall, and then bring it inside once the cooler weather hits, and it'll look great inside our house all winter long. I'm going to put links to tips on how to water and other care tips for succulents. I hope you'll give them a try. Thank you so much for watching. We so appreciate it.